Hey, what's up guys? It's Brendan from Best Life Weight Loss, and today's bike vlog, I want to talk about starting your diet plan. You know, if you saw yesterday's video, you know, I was talking about how, you know, to start with exercise, start with cardio. It's not the end all be all, it's not going to be enough for your weight loss journey, but it's a wonderful starting point. It's a good, you know, sometimes when you try and plan the diet, plan the workout, and do everything all at once, it's overwhelming. You falter. And one of the biggest things people don't do is they're not making plans and they're not following through with them. You know, if they make the plans, they're not following through with them. You have to follow through with the plans you make. So you pick your cardio, you pick your exercise, your workout, whatever. You started that. You're getting good, you're feeling good, you've done it for a month, maybe 2 months, and you feel like, okay, the water weight's gone. Let me focus on my diet. Start implementing that in. Now, if you saw the short, if you've seen my videos on tracking your progress, I want you to track everything. So when you're assessing your diet, I say you're doing your cardio, don't change anything yet. Write down everything you're eating. Look at your eating habits for a week. And then start to reduce it just from there. Maybe try 100 calories a day, less from the diet, 200 calories a day. And then slowly transition into a non-processed food diet. You know, if you want a successful weight loss journey, you're gonna have to cook your own food. Meat, vegetables, starch, carbs, rice, potatoes, stuff like that. You're gonna have to cook it yourself, you know. I mean, you could try and get HelloFresh and all those meal plans. I don't know how those foods are prepared. You look into them, find the stuff that's not processed the most, but you gotta think about it. For these meal plans, how are they preserving the food? So there's some kind of shit in there that you don't need. If you really want to be healthy on your journey, you're gonna have to cook your food. You have to prepare your own meals. And I feel like it's the best way to know what you're putting in your body, control the amount of calories you're putting in, and the most important aspect is you're putting in the protein, the nutrients, the fiber, the vitamins you need. By you preparing it yourself, you know every aspect of what you're putting in your body, from the vegetables to the meat, how it's prepared, how it's cooked, how it's seasoned. And I will always preach that you have to like your diet. You have to enjoy the foods you're eating. And that is why I say don't start too restricted. Eventually, yeah, you can get to the point where you're at a really big deficit and you've got it down packed on what you're eating. But you want to get there. You want to train your body to the point where you're doing your exercise and you're associating your food with as fuel. It's not something that's just going to click. If you haven't been doing it, it's not something that's just going to happen. It's something you're going to build over time. And that's why I say there's no end-all be-all diet plan. A diet plan is something that you're building on consistently through your journey. Your diet is something that will be constantly evolving and changing to fit your needs, to fit whether the amount of exercise you're doing is more or less, to fit into the functionality of your muscles, of your overall function. And once you start to do that, that's when you're really going to see the results you want. You're really going to see the numbers start to drop, because you're doing your exercise consistently. You start to get your diet in check. What's the number one thing I'm always saying for a successful weight loss journey? The number one calorie deficit. If you're not maintaining a calorie deficit, you're not going to be losing the numbers. I try and always say it's just math. If you can do math, you can lose weight. Now, it's obviously not that simple. You need discipline, dedication, commitment. And all of those things everyone has, but the more you do it, the more you build your routine, the more you stay consistent with it, the easier the routine gets, the easier it becomes to become disciplined, to have dedication. The more you're doing it, the more you're seeing, the more you're achieving, the more you're reaching your goals, the easier it gets. But to get to that point where you're consistent and you know, and you never miss a day and you're always on it, you have to get to that point. And how do you get to that point? Building blocks. Aggregating everything into one starting point, you know, your cardio, your exercise, picking out your plan, tailor making your diet to yourself. You know, there's no end all be all diet. Keto, carnivore, those are all cool buzzwords that don't mean shit for me. If you want to be healthy and happy, you need to be doing exercise, you need to be doing cardio, you need to be lifting weights, and you need to be putting the proper nutrients in your body. Nutrients, protein, fiber, minerals, vitamins. I'm gonna keep repeating myself over and over again with what you should be putting in your body. Because these ultra processed foods that you don't even know what's in them, that's the problem. We don't know what's in it, you know. And then everything has syrups, sugars, oils that you don't need. I'll be reading the ingredients for fucking chips, cookies, cakes. Why do we need all these oils, seed oils, canola oils, these dyes? Why do we need any of that? You can make cakes, cookies, candies in a natural way. There's all these ingredients, there's all these recipes online for natural health and natural healthy snacks. So then why are the snacks that we buy in the stores full of all this bullshit? It's just money. It's cheap to produce, it's cheap to make, and it's at the detriment of your health. So instead of crying, complaining, and saying, oh, we need more government regulation, fuck that. You regulate your own body. You regulate what's going into your body. I'm not saying stop eating all of the bullshit. I've never said that. If you've been following the channel, you know I have legendary cheat days. Cheat days that be setting me back sometimes. Because you have to have those. You have to be able to indulge in your favorite foods. Cutting them out completely, it's something that for me would have crept up on me. And it would have set me back and it would have kept pulling me down. But because I allow myself to indulge, I allow myself to have fun. And I know, hey, on these days, I stick with my deficit, I stay strong, and it's working, you know. So a strong, restrictive diet, super successful for your weight loss journey. But starting out, it doesn't have to be super crazy restrictive. It's gonna be easier to lose weight in the beginning, and that's fine, that's good. Because once you get into it, you're eating right, you're doing your exercise, and your body's used to it, you're gonna have to work out a little bit harder. You have to train better, and you're gonna have to maintain your calorie deficit to lose the weight consistently. But what ends up happening in that same essence, in that same breath, is that because you've been doing it so long, because you've stayed committed consistently, it's easier to do it. Do you know how much, mentally, a year ago, getting on the bike, I would have to convince myself and tell myself and make sure, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. There's no thought process now. When the scheduled time for the bike is up, boom, I'm there, I'm doing it. It's not a question of whether I'm gonna do it. It's a question of how hard I'm going today, how much effort I'm putting in, what kind of workout am I having. I know I'm gonna do it, so how can I make it fucking amazing? I hope you guys start your weight loss journey and hope you get what I'm saying. Fucking stay positive, guys.